Hey guys, I want to share something on the blog today with you that is one of the most exciting things that I've ever shared. And it's one of the things that fuels me. It's one of the things that I have to remind myself each day, and I wanted to share with you. But it starts with a simple sentence, and it goes like this. The timing is always wrong until it's right. The timing is always wrong until it's right. Let me explain. Humans are by nature impatient creatures, especially Americans. And sometimes we get so caught up in the fact that the moment isn't right for whatever it is we're waiting for. We could be waiting for a relationship or a new job or a child or whatever it is. But we have to keep in mind and keep reminding ourselves that it can be wrong 1,000 times, but the timing only has to be right once. Sometimes we get so caught up in all these wrong moments, the moments when this thing is not happening for us, that we lose sight of the fact that the right moment could be right around the corner. Literally every day you can wake up with an excitement that that day could be the day when everything changes for you. Because if you think about it, your life could look one way one moment, and the very next moment it could look completely different. Everything could be changed. If you're a believer in God, this is especially true. Because if you believe in a God that created you, in a God that created everything, you have to believe that He can change your life like that. The Bible talks about this quite a bit in a lot of the stories and a lot of the characters and people in the Bible. And the Bible kind of terms them one days. A lot of verses in the Bible, when it's talking about somebody's story, start like this. One day. Let me give you an example. Joseph, through a series of unfortunate events, found himself in prison. And he was in prison for several years for something that wasn't his fault. And his cellmates had a dream. He thought this was his ticket out of there. And 2 years later, he's still sitting in prison. And then one day Pharaoh has a dream. And everything changes for Joseph. Moses had a one day. He spent 40 years in the back of the desert doing one of the loneliest and lowliest jobs known to man. And then one day, he spots a bush that's burning, but not burning up. Mary had a one day. She was entering one of the most exciting points and times of her life. She was engaged. She was about to be married. And then one day, an angel shows up. And her life was completely different. One of my favorite one days is Peter. Because Peter was just going about his job. He was just working, doing the same job he'd done every day for most of his life. The same job his father probably did before him and his grandfather did before him. And then one day, God Himself walked into his life. And he never did that job again. I think that this is a phenomenal way to live. Every day you can wake up with an excitement that today could be your one day. Every night you can go to bed and you can be excited that when you wake up the next day, it could be your one day. It could be the day where everything changes, the moment where everything is one way and then suddenly it's another way. It's an unbelievable hope that you can have. Today could be your one day.